Hi, welcome to the Market Alert for Tuesday, the 25th of March 2025. So Trump tariff roulette sparks surge in stocks, crypto and crude and bonds and bullion sold. No surprise there. He still can't make up his mind what to do with these tariffs. Stocks and yields rally on trade optimism and strong services PMI. And finally, we've got US stocks rallied amid optimism regarding a less aggressive tariff approach, and that was the reason for the market gapping, by the way, from yesterday as well. I had a look through and managed to find the news that created the gap. Economic news for today: German business info, S&P CS composites and HPI year on year. New home sales and Richmond manufacturing index. So again, the market making its own direction today. No major economic news items to be released. Okay, let's have a look at this optimism and kick off with yesterday's move in the Dow. So yesterday we see the market gapping higher and continuing higher throughout the day up to the 200 MA and the 62% retracement. However, overnight prices look a bit weaker there. So we'll look at that in more detail in the 30 minutes. At the moment we're just sort of drifting down. Watch the DP, that's going to be an area of support, and the 50 EMA. Meanwhile, yesterday we saw that gap, and that was on trade tariff optimism that it wasn't going to be imposed as high. I can't remember the country now that he was talking about in the article. There's that many that he's adding tariffs to. It's difficult to keep up with and then taking them off. But anyway, yesterday the cash market moving higher, but then some profit taking down to the R2 before prices rallied into the close. But overnight, like I say, there's a bit of weakness there at the moment. And in the German DAX, again, we can see that we were up yesterday, but then coming off the highs, and overnight there's further weakness in the daily chart. So the market now in a sideways move for the DAX, becoming tighter by the day. 30-minute chart, we rallied up, we then came down and then back above the high of Friday, and then you can see there we've drifted all the way back down to the low of yesterday, where the market is currently finding a bit of support. We're a long way off yesterday's high, which is 100, 200, 300, 350 points higher from where we currently are trading. So a lot of work to do on the upside if the market is to rally today. And in the S&P 500, same thing as the Dow, the market gapping, weakness coming in overnight, but during yesterday the market moving to the upside there, just drifting down a bit overnight at the moment. Again, watch the DP and the 50 EMA in this market. In the UK market, sideways to lower and also now below the 50 EMA. So what I would be inclined to do here is we've got that weakness coming in, is just to mark up from the recent low to the recent high and see how much weakness there is in this market. It's already broken 38, so 50 is the next downside target, 8,600, and then you can use these other ones just to measure any further weakness should the market move lower. So keep an eye on those. 30-minute chart, market sold a few minutes into a couple of hours into the first trading session of the day. Market down. Then we had a bit of a rally during the US, but that also failed, and then managed to break the downtrend. But at the moment we've got a downtrend down to yesterday's low, just the same as the German DAX at the moment. So need to find support at yesterday's low. US dollar, as I mentioned before, this is going to keep moving up for a bit. Now we've got those tariffs out of the way, or less of them, and you can see their strength coming back into the US dollar. This means it's going to put pressure on the metals, which we saw again yesterday. So let's have a look at those. And silver, inside bar for yesterday, but another down day, but on lighter volume, becoming oversold in the daily chart there. Reversing overnight, so maybe $32 is the last support for this market. Let me just double check the low of this bar. That's 32.65, so 32.50 maybe is the low. We're above the 200, which is the most important thing, and the 50, and also the 20 bar moving average there. 30-minute chart, well, we get the classic, don't we? Do we have to slam it at lunchtime, as it were. market up to begin with, but then slammed and making its way back up overnight. Watch yesterday's low if they decide to slam again. Same in the gold market, down yesterday. A lot of selling, but interestingly enough, the volume's greater than Friday's, but the market didn't move lower, so there's some buying around there to support the gold price. And in the 30-minute chart, we moved higher and then we slammed lower. But again, Asia managing to bring back prices in the gold market. In the gold-silver ratio, we've got back to the 91-92 area, and now we're seeing a bit of support coming in, despite the fact that the dollar is also rising as well. So silver managing to move a bit higher and faster than gold at the moment. But we're still at this massive 91 gold-silver ratio. It's absolutely absurd, and anybody that can't see the manipulation really has sort of myopic trading analysis, because you could just plain to see with this sideways move and how, get rid of that, how the market is being played in this sideways range, and then adding to a sideways move in the daily chart, and how when the market rallies up and down, it actually picks the tops and bottoms in the silver price there as well. So we need to stay below 92 if at all possible there for the gold silver ratio. Let's have a quick look at yesterday's action in the 2-minute DAX. And we kicked off with the market putting in a blistering rally in the pre-market session there. Good 150 points before, 100 points before the market then opened and took off to the upside before finding a bit of resistance there at the psychological level, but then breaking through and then bringing the market back all the way down to the R1, then down to the high. And you can see the 200 MA there, the buying coming back in as well, trying to hold the market at this level. Prices then retested the level and then became sideways, and they kept trying to hold the market above the high until, if I recall, the market relinquished this and moved lower before managing a short there before the close of trade for the morning. Well, short close of the morning trading session, say, not the close. Right, so the market then rallies back to the high, no surprise there, and then continues on up to the R1 before again giving up and making its way down. Nice volatility for yesterday though, down to the close, down to the DP, and you can see there, big drop yesterday. Price is then trying to find support and making its way back in the afternoon as the Dow kicked off very, very sideways, as you can see there. Before breaking to the upside with the Dow up to the 200 MA, where it found resistance twice and then failed to hold, and then working its way back into a sideways move where it remained there for most of the evening as the Dow traded sideways back to the DP and then through the DP, but then becoming choppy as we moved into the latter part of the trading session there as we move forward a bit more. So you can see it, uncertainty and just stuck in a range as can be seen there. Quick look at the overnight, and at the moment the market is trading at yesterday's low and trying to hold, as you can see there, coming off there and there. So we've got support down here, so we can expect a bit of a rally there for the DAX at the open. Right, that's a quick roundup of events and what's currently happening. We'll see how it unfolds today, but again, it's just geopolitical stuff today, and Trump's tariffs, that seems to be dominating the market moves at the moment. Okay, have a great day, and as ever, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.